watching Virginia This Morning.
This segment is sponsored by Davis & Green Electrical.
Over 1,300 athletes will take part in the Special Olympics of Virginia Summer Games this year, thanks to partners like Davis & Green. The Summer Games is returning next month to the University of Richmond and other area venues around that. Greg Green and Rick Jeffries join us this morning on how you can get involved and be part of the fun. Good to see you guys. Welcome back.
Great to see you, Bill.
Greg, we're going to get to you in a second, but I got to go to Mr. Special Olympics himself, Rick Jeffries, and always good to see you, buddy. This is something a lot of us look forward to all year long.
Well, it's a huge community event. It's great to involve community partners like Davis & Green in this event, but you know, there'll be 1,300 to 1,500 athletes from all over the state. There'll be 5,000 people that volunteer on this event during the course of the weekend. We'll be at the University of Richmond and surrounding venues, as you say. We've been at the University of Richmond kind of as our home for about over 30 years. There'll be probably 2,000 or 3,000 people that are there to volunteer to cheer. There will be our athletes, their families. It's just a wonderful, wonderful culmination and celebration of sport, health, education, and community.
I've done the same thing every year for several years. I'm there on Friday afternoons and announce the medal awards, and it is the last couple of years, especially since we've added the volunteer to cheer part of it, where people can come. If you've got an hour, you come and you just cheer. And I always tell people, just come. Just come one time, and then we know we'll get you back year after year after year, because you come away from that a lot richer than you came in.
Well, it certainly worked for us with you, because you come back year after year after year.
do.
But we have a high return rate. It's a wonderful thing for people to come out and do and celebrate. It's all about celebrating what people can do, and not anything at all about disabilities. It's really about abilities and what people can do.
And it does start on June the 12th at the Robbins Center. Let's talk about the high school students and the Champions Together program. What's that?
Yeah, the Champions Together program is a partnership with high schools and the Virginia High School League. We have 27 pilot programs around the state, 4 of them here in the Richmond area: Henrico High School, Lee Davis, Patrick Henry, Prince George. Nice meet coming up here May 16th out at Lee Davis. It's a unified interscholastic track and field, which means the team is made up of half Special Olympic athletes and half non-disabled partners from the school. Wonderful, wonderful way to promote inclusion and promote relationships through a teammate aspect. And it also goes hand in hand with leadership and philanthropy, and a way for your school to promote inclusion and promote accepting all.
And you know what? If you expose these kids to your athletes, the empathy and the feeling of being part of the program just grows from there.
Well, you know, the 3 of us are sitting here today, but 20 years from now, there'll be 3 other people sitting here doing your job, doing Greg's job, and doing my job. And there'll be people that have been through those high school programs, or even have come up through the Little Feet programs, as you know, that are in the elementary school. So, you know, we're running the full gamut, but we're trying to prepare not only our Special Olympic athletes to be better in the community, but prepare people that are without disabilities to give back as they become adults and move into the workforce also.
I'm going to get to the law enforcement run in just a second, but Greg, we made you sit here for a few minutes. This has got to be exciting for your team to be out there for this. It is a huge event in Central Virginia, and you're right there at the core of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Rick said it. This is all about you know, taking an inability, looking at the ability of what people can do. Forbes magazine just released an article on employees focusing on the strengths of their employees as opposed to the weaknesses. And that's what's so cool about Special Olympics. Special Olympics is fun. You were at Polar Plunge, and so this is like the Super Bowl for us. For the Special Olympics, to be out there, to be a part of it, it's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really does. Let's talk about one of my favorite parts, and that's the law enforcement run, Rick. It is phenomenal to see these guys come from all over the state, and ladies.
Well, our law enforcement torch run chairman, Earl Cook, who's the chief in Alexandria, will be up in Alexandria on May 21st, kicking off the whole law enforcement torch run. The run will actually occur the week of June 8th through June 12th, and those law enforcement officers will run that last leg, as you know, from the Tuckahoe Rescue Squad down Boat Right Drive and into the Robbins Center at the University of Richmond on Friday, June 12th, as part of the opening ceremony. Law enforcement men and women raise over $1 million a year to support our Special Olympic athletes. They raised over $15 million since 1986 in the state of Virginia. I can't say enough about our law enforcement partners and people in the nonprofit community ask me all the time, how did you get this law enforcement thing? They love to have what we have. It's a fantastic piece of our program.
I'll tell you what, if you've never experienced magic in your life, be in the stadium when those guys come down that hill and into the stadium, and it is very special.
Well, it's incredibly emotional. I mean, law enforcement is a brotherhood, and, you know, they have a two-pronged philosophy of protect and serve. Most of us really just see the protection in our daily lives. The service to the community is huge in the law enforcement. And again, sport, health, education, community. There's no greater community that supports Special Olympics than the law enforcement community, not only here, but statewide.
It's a great event, folks. The Special Olympics of Virginia Summer Games is June 12th and 13th, right there at the University of Richmond and several surrounding venues. If you would like to get involved, please give the Richmond office a call. It's 800-932-4653 or visit SpecialOlympicsVA.org. And to learn more about our friends at Davis and Green, you can go online to dgelectrical.com or please give them a call and thank them for being part of this program. Their number is 231-9684.
Well, we've got a